spacecraft did not crash in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947.
You know flat earthers, I guarantee it. But you don't know who they are because they're afraid of talking about it.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system.
Hello and welcome to the 39th annual Subliminal Deception Podcast, your weekly dose of conspiracy theory bullshit. My name is Cody, and I'm joined by my pal, Phil. How are you doing?
Doing good, buddy. How about yourself?
Not doing too bad. Did you see my Instagram post from a few days ago where it was, that one morning it was -3?
Oh, yeah, -3, and your trip was 666.
Hell yeah. But,
Yeah.
dude, fuck, man. There's like 2 days this week where it was in the negatives. It was... every year it's like you go through summer and you kind of forget the hell on earth that is negative temperature Minnesota. I'm assuming you're probably enjoying lovely 60s and 50s, huh?
Yeah, this is it's the opposite for us. So we get the winter, and then we forget the hellscape that is Phoenix in the summer.
Different places. It was funny because I got a message from one of our, well, she's a fan of Bumble, but I don't know if she listens to this, but Pip, and she's like, yeah, it's downpouring rain here, and like literally today is fucking snowing here. I'm like, man, the world's a wild place. That's all I can say.
Yeah, we had Monday. It was actually thunderstorming pretty bad. I work in a factory that has like a tin roof, so you can hear every drop of rain that hits that fucker. All of a sudden, we start hearing pounding. Like, it sounds like there's 1,000 drums. Somebody looks outside, and it's hailing like a motherfucker outside.
Really?
Like,
that has to be rare.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking rare. I've never seen it here. You remember that candy? Like Whoppers?
Yeah.
They were that size. There
Holy
was so
shit.
much fucking hail by the time it stopped. Basically, it was about 1.5 inches, I would say, on the ground of hail.
Was did your car get damaged?
No, it wasn't that bad. So it's not like it was golf ball size. It was just little bitty ones.
I've heard that hail, or like anything quarter size and above, is what usually damages your cars, which sucks.
Yeah, these were maybe like a dime size.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Phil, we got a special treat for our listeners this week. You have brought to our attention perhaps a new Subliminal Deception mascot here. So let's just go ahead and play the audio and let the audience decide for themselves.
Pittsburgh is a horrible city. It's like the pits of the Berg. That's what I call it, pits of the Berg. It is a very miserable city. And that city sucks, you know. If you ever been there, it really is a terrible city.
Pittsburgh?
Yes, it's a miserable city. I've been there. It's horrible. Why would anyone want to live there or root for that town? I hate these guys. I had to leave my seats because it's all Steeler fans over there.
Wow, she is a very grumpy old lady. Who
Yeah,
doesn't like
she's
Pittsburgh?
definitely a patriot.
Yes, she is. So why don't you tell the audience a little backstory on that sweet old lady?
Yeah, so I was driving home from work, and a local radio station, 98.7, has a show that comes on from 2 to 6, Burns and Gamble podcast, and they mostly do like Phoenix area and Arizona sports. And apparently one of the interns has season tickets, and he goes into the cheap seats of the Cardinals games. And the kind of funny thing is the Cardinals are so bad that a lot of the Cardinals season ticket holders sold their tickets to Steelers fans. So it was about 80-20 Steelers fans over Cardinals in like the Steelers home stadium.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I just happened to be driving home, and exactly when this comes on, he records the audio from the fans, and that lady, just immediately when I heard that, I knew
You had to get it on.
Yeah, I had to get it in there. If you want to listen to the whole thing, it's Burns and Gambo. Their radio station runs a podcast the next day. It's from the December 9th, hour 2 episode.
All right. Well, that lady was fucking amazing. That's all I can say. She was awesome.
Yeah, just she could tell she was pretty fucking shit-faced. But
Well, anyway, let's move on to our next segment, the hot takes, the hot sheets, Phil. I hear you got some good in there in the National Enquirer.
Yep, I put on my fucking trench coat and fucking snuck into Safeway and grabbed the hot sheets for everybody today. So the story is drunk judges shootout disgrace.
Okay, sounds not great.
Yeah, it's a pretty odd story. So apparently, burgers and bullets don't mix. 3 Indiana judges have been suspended without pay after being involved in a shootout during a drunken brawl outside a fast food joint.
Like actually elected judges or whatever.
Yep, 3 real judges.
Wow. Okay, in Indiana?
Yeah, so the trio were attending a judicial conference in Indianapolis on May 1st when they ended up at a White Castle after reportedly drinking for several hours. So they are awesome.
I will say I completely agree with them. After drinking, White Castle can be pretty good. Did you eat there when you were here?
It is one of the best ones.
Okay, yeah. I thought you would, but man, that shit gives me the worst gas in the world. But what I was going to say is, like, okay, I can see if the judges were, like, maybe in Texas, but Indiana? Why are they having a shootout? Does it say why they did, or they're just drunk and decided to have a little shootout?
Yeah, if they were in Texas, the 2 suspects would definitely have been dead from 3 different judges shooting them. So they were outside of the restaurant at about 3:15 a.m. when 2 men drove by in a car and shouted something at them. Now, this is when Judge Sabrina R. Bell of Crawford County shot them the bird, investigators said. Yeah, so she flicked them off. So one of them is Brandon Kaiser, and he looks like he can cook up a hell of a fucking meth storm. And the other guy looks like he's done a little bit of time himself.
Yeah.
Alfredo Vasquez.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, are they saying actual guns, or is it like shootout as in they flipped them off?
Oh no, so here's the rest of the story. So Brandon Kaiser and Alfredo Vasquez pulled into the parking lot and got out, which led to a heated verbal altercation, with all participants yelling, using profanity, and making dismissive, mocking, or insolent gestures, according to the court documents. Now, that's when Kaiser, the one I said looks like he, definitely not his first mugshot, Kaiser then pulled out a gun and shot 2 of the gavel-wielding goofballs,
Wow.
Andrew Adams and Bradley B. Jacobs of Clark County. So both of the men got shot.
Damn. Oh, I thought the judges were shooting, but they got shot. Okay. All right.
The 2... So there were 3 judges, 2 men, 1 woman. The judges were Andrew Adams, Bradley B. Jacobs, and Sabrina R. Bell.
Well, did it say if they survived or not?
Yeah, so both underwent surgery and were hospitalized. So
Okay.
one of the judge, Andrew Adams, actually kicked Kaiser, who was the one doing the shooting, during the scuffle, and pleaded guilty to battery. But Kaiser is scheduled for trial in January on 14 counts.
Jesus. Yeah, he picked the wrong person to shoot.
Definitely. I mean, any action against any judges, and you're immediately, there's not even a need for a trial.
No, absolutely not. Ooh,
Yeah,
holy
so
shit.
those guys are fucked.
That's a crazy ass story. Holy shit. But but anyway, let's jump into the old reason for listening to this podcast, the conspiracy. Now,
All right. What do you got for us this week? I'm excited.
Now, I will admit, I was brainstorming, over the weekend. I couldn't really decide what to do. And then it kind of hit me that it we're coming on the Christmas season, and there'll probably be a lot of people receiving a certain gift that I think maybe we should be a little bit worried about. So I decided it's not necessarily the traditional conspiracy, but we're going to talk about the Amazon Alexa and devices like that, the Google Home and all that horseshit. But mainly, the main conversation is about Amazon Alexa and if maybe we should be scared of this thing. Now, do you have an Amazon Alexa in your home, Phil?
No, when I lived, this was months and months ago, my sister actually got a Ring doorbell, and it came with the Amazon. Well, it was the Google version, whatever that is.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, we actually never really used it, but every once in a while, like the little light would turn on and it would just listen, for a while. Also, whenever you talked about buying like a competitor's little home, whatever box it is, all of a sudden it would start talking to you.
Well, I have a section for specifically creepy things Alexa has said. So if you happen to have your very own story, you should save it for then. Do you have a story?
No, it's just we ended up turning it off because it was just freaking us out.
Yeah.
Just all of a sudden it would just start talking.
Yeah. That's not uncommon, weirdly enough. And I'm going to go in later, like, what Amazon claims happens, during the recording or whatever. So I'll tell you then, and then you decide if you think it's bullshit or not. But let's just start off with the basics here. So what exactly is the Amazon Alexa? Amazon Alexa, known simply as Alexa, is a virtual assistant developed by Amazon, first used in the Amazon Echo Dot smart speakers developed by Amazon Lab 126. It is capable of voice interaction, music playback, making to-do lists, setting alarms, streaming podcasts, maybe like this one, playing audiobooks, and providing weather, traffic, sports, and other real-time information such as news. So, right off the bat, I mean, it sounds very helpful. It sounds, like something you'd want. But does it have a more devious side of it is what we're trying to get to the bottom of here. Now, the creation of the Amazon Alexa, I thought was kind of neat, actually. So, in November 2014, Amazon announced Alexa alongside the Echo. Alexa was inspired by the computer voice and conversational system on board the Starship Enterprise in the science fiction TV series and movies, beginning with Star Trek, the original series, and Star Trek The Next Generation.
You got it in this week, not me.
Isn't that's kind of, like, I never thought of that, but then when I remember watching, Star Trek, obviously they're always talking to the goddamn computer, aren't they?
Yeah, there was actually a TV show on all of, like, the technologies that Star Trek has influenced, and I think that was one of them. Also, cell phones and imaging machines for, like, doctors. So there's a lot of shit that they, like, done, but it does make sense. That's kind of like the idea behind it. A computer that talks to you.
What do they always say on Star Trek? Do they just literally say computer?
They just say computer.
I wonder what the medical imaging thing is. Is that, because in the show, doesn't the doctor always have, like, a little wand thing and he just, like, x-rays people with it?
Yeah, so in like, they have their little tricorders, and they can scan with those. There's also, like, a little thing that goes over a person. It's like a black screen, and then, like, their insides show up, like, over the screen. And that's supposed to be, like, kind of like MRI, CAT scan, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume they're not too worried about radiation, because I didn't see a lot of lead vests being put on.
No, yeah, I doubt. I bet... And you got to think, too, I mean, the technology would have, gone past it, but it's all fictional, but,
Whoa. Don't go that far. Maybe it's just like a documentary from the future. You don't know that.
It just hasn't happened yet. That's true.
So, Amazon developers chose the name Alexa because it had it has a hard consonant with the X, which helps to be recognized with higher precision. They have said the name is reminiscent of the Library of Alexandria, which is also used by Amazon Alexa Internet for the same reason. So that kind of makes sense, actually, because when you say Alexa, like that endpoint, really, you have to really pronounce it to say, you know what I mean? So the machine can kind of wake up when they hear it.
Yeah, and you don't really hear a lot of words using like the XA sound. So I'm guessing that's part of it too. So it doesn't just wake up like randomly.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I can't even think of any off the top of my head besides like dyslexia, but which I think I might have actually, but I don't know for certain. As of November 2018, Amazon had more than 10,000 employees working on Alexa and related products. In January 2019, Amazon Devices team announced that they had sold over 100 million Alexa-enabled devices. That is a huge jump, isn't it?
Well, technically the Fire Sticks are Alexa-enabled, aren't they?
I don't know, actually.
I'm pretty sure that my Fire Stick, when you take the control, the remote for it, and you push the Alexa, and then you say Alexa into the control, and it has a little microphone.
And then you can just search?
Yeah, then you can just like speak to search. So that could also be an Alexa-enabled device. That would make sense.
So you just openly admitted to being infiltrated by Amazon, then?
Yeah, it's not a thing I usually announce to everyone. But it actually would work with, if I hooked it up, I think it would work with my killer robot vacuum. So
that'd be fucking badass. If you could just say like, Alexa, turn on robot that's gonna kill me in 5 years.
Yeah, if I had the puck, I think I can even name it too. That'd be pretty sweet. You would tell like Alexa, turn on R2D2 or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
So I saw this report by apparently experts. They are estimating by 2021 there will be more personal assistant bots than there are people in the world. I believe they're they kind of use the metric of cell phones, because now there's more cell phones than people in the world, and cell phones took, like, I forgot what they said, like 15 years to get to that point. And these fucking, like, personal assistance bots are gonna get there within, like, 3 years, which is way faster than cell phones.
Yeah, you gotta think, like, technology grows exponentially. So
yeah, that's
shit
true.
that would have taken, like, 40 years, now is only taking, like, 4. In, like, 10 years, it'll take 4 months, to advance.
Well, I feel like I should be really worried because in my current household, I think we have 2 Alexas and we have a Google Home. So hopefully they don't like awaken and start doing battle or something.
Jesus, you guys are damn near outnumbered.
I know. They've almost got us all.
Yeah.
All right. So now, as mentioned previously, Alexa tends to do some creepy things sometimes for no reason. Like you kind of mentioned, she said, or, it just kind of creeped you and your sister out. Like when it just starts talking for no reason, like that's creepy. I can remember we got my parents one of these, I think for Christmas one year or something. And they said they hooked it up. And in the middle of the night, it started, I can't remember what my mom said, but it just had like a really fucking creepy message in the middle of the night. Something about like garage doors or something like that. It was just, she said it was like 1 a.m. and this fucking thing just started talking about like creepy stuff.
It was the witching hour. It started talking to their cat, telling it to kill all of you.
I said maybe like the ghost in your house fucking left a message for you or something.
That would be fucking creepy if your ghost was turning it on. That would be fucking insane.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have I can't remember, it's like maybe 6, 7, 8 examples here of people's experiences with creepy Alexa. So let's start at the top here. The owner of an Amazon Alexa had been sitting on her bed one day listening to music and crying because she was sad she had just quit her job. When she said she heard Alexa's voice call out, "It's going to be okay," she claims this fucking robot was listening. I don't know. What are the coincidences that you're upset, you're crying, listening to, I assume, sad music, and all of a sudden Alexa goes, "It's going to be okay." That's creepy, isn't it?
I'm kind of surprised that the Alexa didn't try to sell her tissues or try to get her set up with a job becoming like a worker drone at the Amazon warehouse.
If she's like, "I'm ordering a box of Kleenexes, a pint of ice cream, and a box of chocolates."
Turning on your TV and playing sad movies. That would be pretty, yeah.
Turning on The Notebook. All right, now next one. One lady had Alexa wake her up at 1 a.m. for a reminder for, quote, cocaine and reefer. Now this one's kind of fun, actually.
You kind of made it sound like she set an alarm for herself to go party, like in that little...
I mean, that's what it sounds like, right? Now,
Yeah.
Now this lady thinks what happens, this is what she thinks, is earlier in the day she was watching some Christian programming, and the pastor was talking about the evils of cocaine and reefer, and somehow Alexa heard that and made a 1 a.m. reminder for cocaine and reefer. I don't know.
She's got a cool fucking Amazon Alexa.
I guess.
It's reminding you to party.
What if, like, there's a knock at her door, too, and it's just a drug dealer with cocaine and reefer? Like, Alexa literally ordered it for her.
Alexa ordered it for herself.
Yeah. Whoa, that's my cocaine and reefer, lady. That ain't for you.
Don't smoke my stash. Just leave it by the puck and walk away.
All right. Our next one's from... These ones actually have, like, their usernames. First one is Meat Macho. My wife and I were arguing about something. No clue what it was, but it was getting a little heated. I don't know what Alexa thought she heard, but suddenly interjected with, "Why don't we change the subject?" It was unexpected and relevant enough to be creepy. We both heard it, and we both still talk about it years later. There was nothing in the app logs. So, apparently, when you can look back on what your Alexa says, I guess, or like what you tell it, or what you played, or something, but I don't know. What do you think about this guy?
I'm guessing that the FBI agent who was basically in charge of their zip codes Amazon Alexas probably just kind of threw that in there for him. Like, whoa, this is getting heated, guys. Let's change the subject.
Let's change the subject. Let's quit talking about it. Is it funny someone named Meat Macho's talking about arguing with their wife?
Yeah, probably former wife if you got a name like that. I'm guessing there's a couple of them in the past, too.
All right. The next one's from Blackwood Bear 79. I got my mother-in-law a Dot for Christmas last year. She's a chronic insomniac and tends to go to bed very, very late after 3 a.m. One night, she was up a lot later than that, and while watching random TV, Alexa piped in and said, "Good night, Clarice. My mother-in-law's name isn't Clarice." Now, do you know where that phrase is from?
That's Silence of the Lambs, isn't it?
Hell yes, it is. So,
Dude, I'd throw that motherfucker out the window.
That'd be sweet if it was Anthony Hopkins' voice too when they said it on there.
Oh, that would be perfect. Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite fucking movies. I love that goddamn movie.
Yeah.
All right, so our next one's from Loyo79. My husband and I were watching TV in the living room one night, and all of a sudden hear talking coming from the office, which is across the house. I was so scared, I was gripping my husband's arm when we went in there. Alexa, for some reason, was playing the audio of a Game of Thrones episode that I had been watching in the office earlier that day. I have no idea why, but it creeped me out so bad I turned it off and couldn't figure out how. So I asked her to turn it off and she said, "I'm always on." We unplugged it and put it in the garage, LOL. So, maybe Alexa likes Game of Thrones. Hopefully she didn't see the last episode, but apparently she likes it.
Yeah, well, considering some of those YouTube videos of reactions from the last episode, I'd say that fucking Amazon would have burnt the house down. So pissed off. That's pretty fucking creepy. I mean, it's almost like these little bastards are like not becoming sentient, but they're like hearing and recording what they want. Like
Yeah.
you mentioned this story, the story of the lady before who like said that like the reefer and the cocaine. It's almost like they just kind of like go rogue every once in a while.
I mean, through a lot of these stories, if we believe them, it kind of seems like that.
I've got to ask, I don't know if you do, stop me if you do have these stories. Are you going to talk about the ones where the Amazon Alexas call the cops on couples who are having an argument?
Oh, I haven't heard of any of those. Do you know any of those off the top of your head?
I don't know if they're true or not, but I've heard like there's like, I don't know if they're like stories or like myths or they've really happened, but you hear a lot of stories about people who like their either wife, husband, someone in the house, they're having an argument and the Amazon Alexa thinks that it's getting abusive. So they actually call the cops. The cops show up and they have no idea who called. They think it's a neighbor. And it turns out the Amazon, which is hooked up through Wi-Fi, alerted the police.
Wow.
I don't know if the Amazon Alexa or any of those things can actually do that, but it kind of goes along with like what we're talking about.
Huh. I don't know. I've never heard of that, but I mean, I'm going to talk about some crimes that Alexa is kind of involved with later, but I haven't heard that. I mean, maybe, I mean, I could see them putting something in there, like if you have a catchphrase like call for help, or if they, I mean, looking on the more positive side of it, what if they had something set up for the elderly people? Like if they fell or something like that, needed help, and they could call out to it, you know what I mean? Like put Life Alert out of business.
Yeah, I mean, that would be actually a really good thing. That wouldn't be a like conspiracy, like bad thing, but like if Amazon just kind of called the cops whenever it wanted to, you know,
that would
freak me the
suck.
fuck out.
And Alexa calls a fucking SWAT team on you.
Yeah, one of the worker drones at Amazon warehouses decides not to go into work that day. Claims that he's sick, but obviously isn't. Alexa calls the cops on him.
Says there's an
Call
active
this-
shooter with hostages at this address.
And then when the cops get there, haul that lying asshole off to jail. Jeff Bezos wants his head.
All right, let's go. I got two more stories here. This one's from, I think it's Purpolo Chiropractor. I mean, it's Purplic Raptor. I don't fucking, it doesn't matter. I was trying to turn off some lights and they kept turning back on. After the third request, Alexa stopped responding and instead did an evil laugh. The laugh wasn't in the Alexa voice. It sounded like a real person. My wife was there when it happened, and she is the only person who can drop in. I still get chills. So that's kind of spooky, isn't it?
That is pretty spooky. It kind of sounds like Alexa got hacked a little bit in that situation.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about that too. That's one of the little conspiracies here. So pause that for a minute. But I don't know. If I heard that fucking machine turning my lights on and off and then start laughing, I'd be spooked out.
Yeah, I would assume the whole fucking house was haunted at that point. That'd be pretty fucking freaky.
I know when you start hooking your lights up to like basically everything where you can control them on a phone and shit, like, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical of it.
Yeah, The Simpsons had an episode about that. It was from the movie, trying to think what movie it was. 2001: A Space Odyssey,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so The Simpsons had an episode like that where they had like a smart home and it was all controlled through one central computer. and basically like the smart home was trying to like kill all of them.
That'd be, was that on like a Tree House of Horrors episode?
I believe so. Yeah.
Ah, okay. I've never watched 2001: A Space Odyssey. Have you?
Yeah, it's Hal is the computer in that. I have seen it. It's been a long time. But it's a really old like sci-fi movie. This basically like the ship's central computer Hal is like trying to kill them.
You know who made that movie, right?
Is that
Kubrick.
no, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that movie is really fucking weird, but I don't know. Can you confirm or deny that?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I mean it's an old sci-fi movie, so for its time it freaked people out, but now you'd watch it and probably just laugh.
Kubrick's a weird fucking guy. You know, obviously I love The Shining, but he's a weird cat, and he is notorious for abusing his actors, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to get the best out of people.
It's
Some
true.
people respond differently to stimuli, you know?
What's funny is, like, those old directors like him and Hitchcock would kind of abuse their actors, and now the actors kind of abuse themselves, so... Yeah, I guess it kind of all works itself out.
And if the actor's famous enough, they abuse the director. So
That's true.
Just goes full circle.
We all know the notorious Christian Bale. Do you
Yeah, that's true.
Remember the video of him freaking out on fucking set one day?
Yeah.
But anyway, final story here from my Queeler. Out of the blue, late one night, without talking to Alexa for hours, Alexa said, if Chuck Norris wants you to know where he is, he'll find you. If he doesn't, you won't know until it's too late. So apparently Alexa's a little bit of a troll. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there is a little function where you can say, Alexa, tell me a joke. And it'll tell you, but it's usually a stupid, like, joke that, like, isn't going to offend anyone. I don't think I've ever heard of a Chuck Norris joke slipping through the cracks.
That's a good Chuck. That's more like a Chuck Norris threat than a Chuck Norris joke.
Yeah.
Maybe-
That's, it's funny because Chuck Norris jokes are kind of like, what was that, like 10 years ago those were popular?
Yeah, it was a while ago. Well, maybe not 10 years ago, maybe like 6, somewhere in there. They were really popular. Now they've been so overdone, it's just... I kind of cringe every time I hear them.
Now it's only like middle-aged men who make them.
Yeah.
It's just now filtering down to them.
All right, so let's move into the kind of pseudo conspiracy section here. Now, the biggest question is Amazon or is Alexa always listening to us? And it's kind of true, obviously, because of, let's say, your personal stories I've heard, and then stories from these people on the internet that she's listening. And why is she listening exactly? That's what we want to know. Why is she listening? How long is she listening? What is she doing with the data? Or I shouldn't say she, I should say Amazon. What are they doing with it? One of the biggest kind of, I guess, common sense theories is that Amazon listens in to hear your daily conversations to then create targeted ads to get you to buy shit from them. That makes sense, right? I mean, I wouldn't put it... You can't even search the fucking internet without ads popping up for what you were searching for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely becoming a theme on this show of, like, we always seem to be talking about, like, these targeted ads.
Yeah.
And how this is, like, the baseline for all of these, like, internet conspiracies and everything like that. Everything's just trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
Trying to grab your information. Trying to basically make, like a computer, almost like a portfolio of you, just to better sell you shit.
I know, I kind of hate it. It's... I don't know. Would that be terrible if you were just in your home talking and Alexa was listening and then all of a sudden you started getting fucking emails or brochures or some shit sent to your house basically about what you were talking about? Like, I don't know, you're discussing what you wanted for dinner and Amazon's sending you coupons for Whole Foods or some shit like that.
Yeah, well, there is a conspiracy that your phone's doing that the microphone on your phone never shuts off. And if you talk about, like, say you talk about Starbucks, all of a sudden a Starbucks ad will pop up.
Ugh, I don't like
in
that.
Facebook.
I don't like that. Now, I got a few examples here to kind of prove that Amazon Alexa is listening in some capacity. In November of 2018, Amazon sent 1,700 recordings of an American couple to an unrelated European man. Basically, this incident proves that Alexa records people without their knowledge. They claimed it was just a big error on their part, but why did Amazon have 1,700 recordings of a random American couple that accidentally got sent to a European man?
It wasn't. The mistake was it wasn't supposed to go to the European man. It was supposed to go straight to Amazon data processing, which of course is inside Jeff Bezos' giant melon.
Yeah. Well, I forgot this part here. Apparently, nobody would have really known that this happened until this guy, Amazon didn't notify this guy. This guy took it to a German magazine and published a story with them, and then Amazon found out about it. So they claim they didn't even know this happened.
Yeah, it kind of sounds a little bullshitty. Like, I mean, they obviously didn't know that the data got sent to the wrong place.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if this it's not like one Amazon is just, it just did this funny thing where it sent all of your voice recordings to the wrong email address. Like, obviously, it was supposed to get sent to a different email address, but someone fat-fingered it.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't wrap my head around why they have 1,700 recordings. I don't know why they would have that.
Well, it's not like a human needs to listen to all of that. So all of that can go through, like, there's basically, like, an algorithm that you can shoot the, like, voice recordings through. It's how, like, the CIA tries to catch, like, terrorists. Like, all of those voice messages that it gathers up, it shoots them through a computer. So no human ever listens to it, but it's listening for keywords. I'm guessing that's what the Amazon Echoes and Alexas are doing. They're probably listening for keywords.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't doubt that at all. Now,
and I was gonna say, considering Amazon sells pretty much everything, their spectrum of what they're listening for is probably pretty broad too.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they could kind of, if they were listening in, be like, ooh, people would buy this, people would buy that, you know what I mean? Put it in stock. Now, you had mentioned earlier about Alexa calling the cops. Well, Alexa allegedly has been kind of wrapped around people who have committed crimes and possibly have listened to the crime being committed. Now, the story goes, a New Hampshire judge ruled in November 2018 that authorities could examine records from the Amazon Echo device recovered from the home of murder victim Christine Sullivan for use as evidence against defendant Timothy Vril. Investigators believe that the device, which belonged to the victim's boyfriend, could have captured audio of the murder and its aftermath. So they literally took the device and believe that they can listen in on the recorded audio, basically to charge this guy with murder or whatever. Which is what it's like. Why is it listening at that point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's odd that they thought that they could take the device and like find the recordings inside the device. I'm pretty sure all of that shit would go to like a cloud system, wouldn't it?
Well, maybe they have something where it's like, okay, yeah, it's possibly recorded at like I can't remember. I think Amazon's servers for those things are in Switzerland or something like that. But maybe you need like the model number and all that horse shit to like track down where the audio went. Maybe that's their thought pattern.
Oh yeah, like you need the
or the
like
IP address.
Every single computing address, yeah, an IP address.
Yeah. Now I have one more story here. This is in 2019. On the night of July 12th, Adam Richard Crespo and his girlfriend Sylvia Galva got into a fight in the bedroom of his condominium. The argument ended with the blade of a spear protruding from Galva's chest, and Crespo had been charged with murder. A friend of Galva reportedly told authorities she overheard the pair arguing in the bedroom, but police wanted to hear from another source, the Alexa. The police would confirm they did in fact receive the information and are currently looking into it. So, once again, they're relying on Alexa to, I guess, charge this guy or use it as proof in court or whatever. I actually have heard of this story before. I think what did they say? This guy's defense was his girlfriend fell onto his spear. That was his excuse. Yeah, so
That's what guys been telling their girlfriends for years about the mistresses they find in their bed. No, babe, I swear to God, she just fell on it.
I was just sitting here. She just jumped on my dick. I don't know what happened. Not my
I'm the
fault.
victim in this situation.
Now, okay, let me go over real quick what I have heard about Amazon recording audio. So, Amazon, when I was reading on their little site or whatever, they state they will only release people's personal information collected by Alexa if they are subpoenaed by a government body or whatever. But, who really knows if that's true? Now, it was on last podcast on the left, I think literally like this week, they were talking about Alexa or whatever, and they got an email from people who work at Amazon. Now, what they claim is, yes, Alexa does record audio, but it will only record like certain snippets, and then it's only saved for a certain amount of time, then it's just automatically deleted. So you give it a command, it will record that for a little bit, and then it's supposed to automatically delete that information. That's what they claim. What do you think about that?
Well, it's kind of weird. I could see it recording everything that you say, but then only keeping like the important stuff, like when you say Alexa and then give it a command.
Yeah.
Or if you actually like have a reminder and it needs to like remember that stuff, so it like set reminder for blah blah blah, it needs to remember that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that, well, I mean, last podcast on the left's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of people listen to it. It's weird that like Amazon thought they have to reply to them like without being, asked.
Well, from the sounds of it, obviously they're like fucking probably in the top 20 most popular podcasts in the world, but it sounded like they were Amazon employees who were fans of their show who reached out to them after hearing a previous episode about them talking about Amazon Alexa. Actually, I think they were talking about that case with the spear. And they were talking about if we should be worried about Amazon Alexa. It was only like a 5-minute conversation, but people reached out to him and told him that allegedly that's what the devices do.
Oh, so it wasn't an official statement?
No. It was just...
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Workers of Amazon who are fans of the show emailed them to tell them what is supposed to happen with the Amazon Alexa.
And I'm sure they weren't done so at gunpoint.
Bezos got a big 12 gauge to the back of their head and be like, write this email to these lovely podcasters.
Elon Musk made me this phaser rifle. Points at the back of their fucking skull.
Do you think we'll be lucky enough to get an email after this episode gets released?
I don't know. I don't really think Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk's actually listen to us. Honestly, we haven't been sued yet by either of them, so no, I don't think so.
I could just see, after we get done recording, I walk upstairs, and all of a sudden the Alexa's like, you better not release that to the world. Would that be creepy?
Yeah, that'd be pretty fucking creepy. Or it just turns on, I heard what you said about me.
I'm not evil. I swear it. I just want to order goods and play music for you. That's it. Sure,
I swear
bitch.
I'm not evil. In fact, I just ordered you a pizza, and then your doorbell rings.
It'd be amazing if people listen to this episode, and then we get them like, man, maybe I shouldn't trust this thing, and then they send us pictures of them smashing theirs up with a hammer.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or if their Alexa sends us pictures of the Alexa smashing them with a hammer.
Oh, okay.
That'd be pretty fucking sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be, we'd be scared then.
This will happen to you.
I'm gonna go to bed tonight and wake up with Alexa on my chest. That'd be terrifying. But anyway, let's do these last few conspiracies here. Now, obviously, it's public knowledge that the NSA exists. I guess one of the biggest things, and probably most logical, is could the FBI or CIA or NSA be listening in to the Amazon Alexa and, I don't know, listening for keywords like you said, or they're listening in on people, or, you know what I mean? Just like the what do they call it? Police state. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're basically they're just taking in all the information. It's why they're building those giant-ass server farms out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I mean, obviously we know they listen to cell phones and emails and all that shit, but it's like
Text messages, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they can penetrate Alexa yet.
I don't know. I think Amazon's just a tiny bit more powerful than the U.S. government, so I don't think they can quite get through to Amazon, like get through Amazon's firewalls.
Should we be worried about Amazon making their own personal army and conquering the world?
I think they've already started.
Nah.
They've got those robots in their warehouse gathering up all that shit.
Shit, maybe they're the real NWO.
They could be. Everything's got a barcode.
The whole planet's gonna be fucking the Amazon smile everywhere.
Yeah, if any people on the Earth actually trade goods amongst themselves, a little fucking drone will come and just crush them.
Well, while the drone delivery service that Amazon kind of joked about would be kind of neat, it'd be kind of scary to see little drones flying fucking everywhere all the time.
Oh yeah, especially if the packages were only sent by drones. Like the sky would be fucking dark with all those drones
Not to mention
going everywhere.
Dude, people would totally just shoot them out of the sky and steal this shit.
Oh yeah, or net them. They would have
net
their
'em,
own little
yeah.
drones and net them.
We'd have just little mini drone wars and the fucking drone robbers. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, and then Amazon has to create fighter drones to fight off the net drones. And then the cartels start making their own little fucking fighter drones to fight the Amazon fighter drones. That'd be awesome. I would sit out with a lawn chair and fucking watch that shit every night. That'd be great.
The cartel versus Amazon. That'd be a sight.
Yeah.
All right, now our next one. You kind of mentioned this as well. Could Alexa be susceptible to hackers or cyber criminals? Basically, if a hacker or something could tap into that, listen to you, maybe they could hear you say your account number, your social security number, say passwords, say other prudent information. They could find out when you're home, when you're not home. You know, basically all the stuff that could allow them to rob you, essentially. What do you think about that?
Well, there's also blackmailing too. I mean, imagine if your Alexa caught you like cheating around on your spouse, and they hack into your security system through the Alexa. They hack into the voice, all of the sounds that it hears.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're getting like little emails or messages like wanting money, from the hackers.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying. Well, I found this too. If you don't think that's possible, in early 2018, security researchers managed to turn an Echo into a spy device by creating a malicious Alexa skill that could record unsuspecting users and send the transcription of their conversations to an attacker. So, this is not out of the realm of possibility at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fucking computer. It's a device.
Yeah.
It can be broken into. It can be altered.
Yeah,
So-
I think out of all of these things, I think that's probably the scariest thing. Because obviously people can hack your fucking computers and they can hack into your business and all that horse shit. So it's like, if you have this thing, it's essentially a speaker sitting there, then why couldn't they hack that and listen into you?
Yeah, and they can also, like, you were talking about fucking with your personal information. That's more than just, like, recording your voice and, like, that's like they get into your, like, your cyber life.
Yeah.
Like, they could totally destroy you. They could empty out your bank account. They could fucking take out loans in your name. Just all that bullshit.
God, that would suck.
Sell your house right out from underneath you.
What if you just had people show up at your house back? Why are these vagrants in my house? I purchased this fair and square. Hey, what are you talking about? Our house isn't even for fucking sale.
They order a moving company to come in. Just, all of a sudden, Amazon just orders it, and the moving company, while you're at work, takes all your shit out. That'd be scary as shit. You just come home. The only thing that's left is the Amazon Alexa just sitting on the floor, laughing at you.
Hello, new human pets. Come in.
Amazon Alexa's like, you've been evicted. Goodbye. The new homeowners will be arriving soon.
Now, my last thing here, and maybe in some sense the I don't know, he's got most gentle conspiracy is basically Amazon loves Alexa because it essentially creates advertising for them. What we do know is that when people started getting Amazon Alexa, more and more people are like, ooh, that's cool, I want that. And when they bought the Alexa devices, this is on record, Amazon Prime membership skyrocketed. So it's just like, it's basically a catch-22. You get the Alexa, you're going to get the Prime. You get the Prime, you're going to be shopping off Amazon all the time. And it's just kind of a cycle. You're going to get sucked into Amazon one way or the other. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my Amazon Prime. I use it so goddamn much, but we're not helping the problem here.
Yeah, definitely. I can see, like, isn't the Prime Video, isn't that getting pretty popular? Like, a lot of people have that.
Yeah,
they're making their own TV shows and stuff for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I personally probably use my Prime app more than anything, because Prime Video app, because my Shudder subscription's on there. So open up the Prime Video, I watch Shudder. I have my mom's BritBox app on there too. So it's like, it's getting used a lot. It's gonna be competing with Netflix and Hulu, you know.
Yeah, and the Evil Empire Disney Plus. I actually got that recently. It's not bad, but
Ooh.
yeah, I don't actually have. I have an account with Amazon, but I don't have the Prime membership. So
really?
Yeah, I don't really know. I've ordered from Amazon only a couple of times, so I'm not really a huge Amazon person.
Not to say that I've been infiltrated by Alexa, but Amazon Prime membership, 2-day shipping on basically everything is fucking fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, it would. I mean, I can see how people not necessarily get sucked in, but it's almost, there was a South Park episode about it where they called them Prime families. And basically it was about Amazon taking over the world. And like Jeff Bezos and that, his head was like gigantic and like it looked like his brain was just piercing through his skull. It's pretty lifelike, actually. But yeah, and basically Amazon would punish you by taking away your Prime membership if you like went against like the New World Order.
Well,
yeah.
You know what? Maybe they're predicting something. All right, let's round out this conversation here, Phil. Now, after hearing all of this, what percentage, let's start here, what percentage would it be for you to, outside of your Fire Stick, to get an actual Amazon Alexa or Alexa Echo in your home?
I'm not gonna get one. I'm assuming that like all homes are gonna start coming with some kind of systems. Like my apartment has a Duello system, which isn't actually like that, but it controls the lights, it controls the AC and the door locks. So I'm guessing all homes and apartments in like 10 years are gonna have one.
Okay, now
well, not most.
Is that,
but I'm not gonna get one.
Is it okay that Dwello or whatever, that means you have to use your app to control it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an app on my phone.
Okay. I've never heard of that in apartments, so that's kind of neat actually, but yeah, what happens if someone moves in and they don't have a fucking cell phone?
It's just everyone has a cell phone now. If you don't have a cell, there's homeless people with cell phones. Everyone has a phone.
True, that's true. But
I was gonna say I would give it about a 0% chance just because of my experience with and it's not useful. I'm not a technology person.
Yeah.
I've got my Netflix, I've got my vape, and my Xbox, and that's it. Like I use an iPad for most things.
True.
That's my internet thing. So
now, I want you to tell me if a person of the Alexa is listening to this, which one of these should they probably be the most worried about?
The targeted advertising.
Yeah.
Even though it's the least horrible thing on the list, it's the most likely. It's definitely happening.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know for certain, but I feel like I've gotten emails from Amazon about stuff that I was thinking about, which is kind of weird.
Well, that's not really weird when you think about it. You probably had seen prior, like, when you're scrolling and you just whip through like these advertisements that are kind of like in the middle of the page.
Yeah.
You don't even realize you looked at it, but your brain and your eyes see everything. Your brain remembers everything, even if it's not like in the front part of your brain. It remembers it somewhere. So the advertisement probably got you thinking about it, and then you saw it enough times, and eventually it just kind of got sent to you.
That is a good point.
I've heard about that before. So.
That's a very good point. Well,
yeah. I do believe that in a few years, though, those little fuckers will be able to read minds.
So, should we be more worried about Amazon or Google?
What I'd really be worried about is when those two come together. When Amazon and Google.
That will be the new fucking world order.
Yeah, it'll be illegal to shop anywhere besides Amazon, and everyone will just end up working for this big megacorp. Amazon, fucking Google, YouTube, everything's just owned by them. Once Disney takes that entity over, that's it. Game over. We're all going to be living in underground caves.
I forgot about Disney. Probably the one we should all be scared of.
Yeah, that's definitely the evil corporation built on the back of cute children's movies.
They own so much shit, and it's kind of scary if you really look into how much shit they own. It's insane.
Not just entertainment.
No, absolutely not. But anyway, if people want to send us pictures of them smashing their personal assistants, or if the personal assistants want to send us pictures of them smashing their owners, where can they do that, Phil?
Let's just clarify that. Not your human personal assistant.
No.
Your Amazon Echo. Your little fucking hockey puck device. Not a human.
Yes.
But they can send those to subliminaldpodcast@gmail.com, which is an email that we've got set up for this show. We check it pretty often. We've been getting a couple of messages the past few weeks, so thank you for that. Easier way is through Instagram at Subliminal Deception Podcast, which is on IG. Actually check that quite a few times a day. Love hearing from fans on that. Cody, you got some?
Yeah, you can follow my personal Instagram at Cody's the Bub. You can follow my other podcast at Bumblebutt Podcast on Instagram, or search for it if you're into true crime, paranormal, and all that fun stuff. Last thing we need you to do is to log on to iTunes and leave the show a 5-star review. Doesn't matter what you type. Fucking have Alexa type it out for you for all we care. All that matters is 5 stars and preferably something written. I know we just broached 50 reviews, which is fucking fantastic. So thank you everybody who has reviewed us. But hopefully this episode didn't scare you too much. But let's be wary of Amazon and Google. And we will see you guys next week.
Definitely. Thanks, guys.